You are listening and watching to a very special podcast. Alright, guys, guess what? We are moving on to Maggie Wolfe's point of view. I do love doing this one. Okay, sorry about the accent. That's just fake. Alright, here we go. The prodigal son. 19-year-old Carmine Sevok is not doing swell. Poor guy. This dark, eerily weird, good-hearted, prodigal so-called man of Fiona Sevok and his brother, 18-year-old Clovis, is more responsible than Carmine was. Things were unbalanced because Carmine always did reckless stunts, getting into trouble, and Clovis always bails him out of jail. And when that happens, Carmine is relieved to see him, but Clovis is not even in a good mood. "Don't even start with that," Clovis said. "Come on, it's time we go home." Once there, while Clovis was driving, he turned to Carmine and demanded to know what was his problem with doing recklessness. But Carmine denied anything, and while the two were trying to debate whether or not of the recklessness, however, Clovis decided to leave him be. Back at home, boy, did Carmine and his mother Fiona had a big argument. Fiona wanted to know what the heck was he doing. Why was he getting himself in trouble? But Carmine refused to answer on those things. It looked like things were about to go bad to worse. After an argument last night, the day when Clovis bailed him out, Carmine woke up in the morning to hear a car honking. When he looked out, it was his best friend, Cobalt. He was 17 years old, but he was one of the people to get Carmine into trouble. Cobalt wanted Carmine to take him out for a ride. Carmine tried to explain that he couldn't, but he made sure that nobody was listening, and he sneaked out to drive in the car. Clovis could guess, and so did Fiona. Nevertheless, it was going to be one of those times again, so they thought, but it didn't. During the whole reckless driving, and Carmine, even Cobalt, were just messing around, when all of a sudden, another vehicle came in, and the car was going out of control, and Carmine and Cobalt didn't even pay attention, didn't even glance. But then when there were flashing lights, Carmine noticed and shouted at his friend to watch out. Too late. There was a blinding light, and everything faded. Carmine woke up in the hospital. He was bruised and also had some cuts and contusions. He was okay. When he woke up, his mother Fiona and also Clovis was there. They were relieved to see that he was alive. However, Carmine asked, "And Cobalt?" His mother and brother looked sad. "I'm sorry, honey," Fiona said. She embraced Carmine tightly and she cried. Carmine was shocked over this. The funeral was the most horrible thing that anyone could ever go to, and Carmine was so depressed. Clovis and Fiona tried to cheer him up, but Carmine didn't even want to talk to them. And then he yelled at them, saying, "All right, fine. I didn't even pay attention. I know I was reckless, all right? Just leave me alone, okay? I just want to be left alone. I know it was my fault. Just please, go." Fiona and Clovis didn't and hugged him. Carmine gave in and he began crying, blaming himself for what happened. That was a year ago. Now, after visiting the grave of his best friend, Carmine was in the passenger seat while Clovis was in the driver's seat driving. Clovis looked at Carmine and asked, "You alright?" He asked. "Yeah, just feel drained," Carmine replied dully. "You want to get something to eat? Maybe you're hungry." Clovis said, "No, I don't have an appetite for anything. I just want to go home and sleep." Carmine said. His brother nodded. "Alright then." Just as they were driving home, Clovis didn't mean to, but he accidentally hit a pothole with something on it that was like a prick, and the prick blew out the tire. The boys were stunned at this, as they couldn't even believe it. "What was that?" Carmine said. Clovis looked at his brother, and he looked real nervous when he said, "The tire. It broke," he said. Carmine groaned. "Great. Just great." The two brothers were really upset. "What are we gonna do?" Clovis said. "I should go for help." "No, we should," Clovis said. "We? There's no we. It should be you, man," Carmine said. "I'm not going out alone. I'm not going to go missing like those guys on the news," Clovis said. In the rear view mirror, Carmine could see someone. "Hey, I see someone coming," Carmine said. He turned to Clovis. "Roll your window down, Clo," Carmine said. "Oh no, I'm not rolling down my window for a stranger," Clovis said. "Roll your window down, Clove. Someone came to see if we're okay," Carmine said. Just then, Clovis did reluctantly and turned to see a pretty young lady. "Hello, are you boys all right?" she asked. Yeah, just a broken tire. It's out of air," Clovis said. "Air?" the girl said. Then somehow she bent over and said, "Yeah, out of air." "In your brain?" Some sort of gas made the two passed out. It was something smoky. The girl giggled maniacally. "Twice the charm with a bunch of suckers," said the girl. When Carmine woke up, he had no idea where he was or what he was doing. But he knew one thing. He was strapped into a chair. He saw something that looked like a vial of a blood bag coursing into his body. What the hell is that? Carmine thought. "Clove! Clovis!" Carmine cried out. I feel so much pain," Clovis said. He too was strapped into a chair, but before Carmine could open his eyes clearly to see his vision being blurred once again, there was a needle injected into him and Carmine passed out. Carmine and Clovis woke up. They were alive. They thought they would be dead. They were okay. The two of them found themselves in the city of DWC But then they saw a building, a glass-like building. It was mirrored somehow. So they decided to see what was going on in there and decided who it was. It was pretty empty inside. There was nobody around. So they decided to do some investigating. Okay, that's the end of Maggie's point of view. I know I'm doing this on somebody else first, but then I'm going to show you where she is now. Alright, thank you so much for listening and watching. I'll see you next time. I'm Catherine Donovan, and I'll see you later.